Have you ever noticed how the final days of a year feel heavier than the rest, as if time itself is holding its breath and watching what you choose to think, say, and believe? Because the last week of 2025 is not merely a calendar ending, but a spiritual threshold where invisible laws respond with precision to every mental picture you accept as true. According to the timeless teachings that life moves by divine order and not by chance, nothing is unlucky by nature, yet many souls experience unease during this period because old beliefs, fears, and unguarded words rise to the surface to be tested. The universe, which never punishes but only reflects, mirrors back accumulated thoughts, and this is why the last days of the year often feel intense, emotional, and unpredictable. When people say this week is unlucky, they are sensing the pressure of spiritual accountability, for thought is creative and words are seeds that must bring harvest. In these closing days, whatever you consistently affirm becomes magnified, for the door between the seen and unseen feels thinner, and faith or fear speaks louder than effort. Many unknowingly declare loss, delay, or disappointment through careless speech, forgetting that every statement carries authority when spoken with feeling. The ancient law states that your word is your wand, and in the final week of 2025, that wand works swiftly, whether you are aware of it or not. This is why certain zodiac signs, sensitive to cosmic rhythms, may feel more vulnerable, not because stars control fate, but because consciousness aligns more deeply with universal patterns. Those who live in reaction rather than revelation may interpret signs as warnings instead of guidance, allowing anxiety to rule the mind. Yet spiritual truth teaches that divine intelligence goes before you, making crooked places straight when you refuse fear. The heaviness many feel is not a curse, but a call to mastery, urging you to discipline imagination and anchor faith. If you listen closely, this week whispers lessons about trust, surrender, and inner authority. What seems like misfortune is often an invitation to replace doubt with certainty and lack with expectation. The closing days of the year demand vigilance because idle thoughts do not remain idle for long. As the old cycle ends, every unresolved belief seeks expression, and only those who choose alignment over panic step safely into the next season. The question is not whether this week is unlucky, but whether you will allow unconscious thinking to decide your future. Your destiny listens silently now, waiting for direction, and whatever you impress upon mind will echo forward into 2026 with multiplied force, proving that faith, once claimed, becomes armor, guidance, and open doors. Therefore, remain awake, deliberate, and calm, for divine order never fails those who choose trust at the edge of transition. This awareness alone separates fear from freedom during these powerful final days. Let certainty rule now, and watch outcomes shift, without struggle or force. Only faith works. Always. As the week moves forward, the energy grows quieter yet more intense, like the stillness before a revelation, and this is where many stumble, because suspense is not meant to frighten, but to awaken awareness. The mind searches for signs, coincidences, and omens, and suddenly ordinary events feel loaded with meaning. Yet the spiritual law reminds us that nothing external has power unless consciousness assigns it authority. In these final days, unresolved patterns rise not to harm you, but to be dissolved through understanding, and this is why emotions may fluctuate without clear reason. Certain zodiac signs feel this more strongly because sensitivity amplifies inner dialogue, and without discipline, that dialogue can turn against the thinker. Fear whispers that something is about to go wrong, while faith calmly declares that everything is falling into divine alignment. Here lies the hidden test of the last week of 2025, for whatever voice you choose to believe begins shaping the unseen framework of your coming year. Many unknowingly sabotage their future by rehearsing worry, regret, or resentment, unaware that imagination, when charged with feeling, is the workshop of destiny. In the middle of this week, a strange pause often appears, where progress seems delayed and answers feel withheld, and this moment is crucial because impatience tempts the soul to doubt divine timing. This is where suspense reaches its peak, not through events, but through inner tension, asking whether you will persist in trust without visible proof. The law states that what you seek is seeking you, yet manifestation requires unwavering expectancy, especially when silence replaces signs. Those who interpret delay as denial lose momentum, while those who stand firm in certainty activate sudden breakthroughs. The so-called unlucky signs are simply those more inclined to emotional reaction, and reaction clouds perception, making shadows appear larger than truth. Spiritual mastery during this time means refusing to dramatize circumstances and choosing to speak only what you desire to experience. Every word spoken now carries unusual weight, and casual complaints can echo longer than intended. This is not punishment, but precision, the universe responding exactly as instructed. When you feel pressure building, it is often because transformation is near, and old identities resist release. The last week of the year strips away illusions, revealing whether faith is conditional or absolute. This revelation can feel uncomfortable, yet it is merciful, for it allows correction before the new cycle begins. When you align thought with divine order, anxiety dissolves, and clarity replaces confusion. The suspense breaks not through force, but through surrender, and suddenly what felt heavy becomes light. In this realization, the myth of bad luck fades, replaced by understanding that life is always responding, always organizing, and always leading you forward when fear is denied permission. This is the turning point where awareness transforms tension into power and prepares the mind to step cleanly into what comes next. As the final days close in and the year exhales its last breath, a profound stillness settles, and this is where true authority is claimed, not by effort, but by recognition of divine order already at work. What you carry into this moment becomes the blueprint of your next chapter, for life does not randomly reset at midnight, it simply continues the direction you have chosen in consciousness. Those who understand this no longer fear endings, because they know completion is only preparation in disguise. The last week of 2025 offers a sacred opportunity to consciously release fear, resentment, and doubt, replacing them with certainty, gratitude, and expectation. When you deliberately affirm peace instead of panic, abundance instead of lack, and guidance instead of confusion, you override every superstition and prediction. The universe responds not to zodiac warnings or collective anxiety, but to individual conviction anchored in faith. This is why spiritual teachings insist that man is not subject to chance, but to law, and law is impersonal, exact, and fair. As the week concludes, many feel an urge to review the past, yet wisdom lies in blessing it and moving forward without attachment. Regret only reanimates old patterns, while gratitude dissolves them effortlessly. In these closing hours, imagination must be guarded gently but firmly, allowing only images of success, harmony, and fulfillment to remain. What you consistently picture now impresses itself upon the subconscious, which accepts no argument and brings forth according to instruction. This is how miracles appear natural and obstacles quietly disappear. The idea of unlucky signs loses meaning when you realize that consciousness outranks every symbol. You are never at the mercy of time, stars, or circumstances when you align with divine intelligence. The power that created you, sustains you, directs you, and clears your path when you stop resisting with fear. As the year turns, carry forward only what strengthens you, for heaviness has no authority in a mind anchored in truth. Expect good, speak good, and allow good, because expectancy is the open door through which blessings enter. When 2026 arrives, it does not ask what you fear, it responds to what you believed. Let this understanding settle deeply, replacing anxiety with calm assurance and superstition with clarity. You were never meant to endure life, but to command it through awareness. The last week was never unlucky. It was a mirror, revealing what must be released and what must be claimed. Step forward now with certainty, knowing divine order never fails and right outcomes are inevitable when faith is maintained. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.